Hello. I So as you can see from the title of the video, this will basically just be me giving my final review for Digimon Survive after having finally completed at least once the entire game. And I have to say though, while I might have mellowed out on a lot of the characters themselves and think they are actually not as bad as when I was originally playing through and gave my first impression, overall, I still think that pretty much the vast majority of the cast are stupid and not fun to follow. Because they just tend to choose like the dumbest choices for their actions. And we're not even talking about, dumb choices you would expect them to make because of, having gone through very traumatic events. But even like for very normal stuff, when they were in their best of mind and the best mindset, they still make those kind of choices, and it just makes me very angry because this is basically the same reason why I never actually finished Digimon Story Hacker's Memory, precisely for the same reason. Because the characters in there were just so nasty and so horrendous, I didn't feel like wanting to complete the game, even though the gameplay itself was the most stellar thing about them. Like, for example, with Survive, the the tactical turn based gameplay was very fun. Sure, it is a bit easy, but you still have points and bosses and stuff like this which require you to think a lot and not just power level your Digimon. So, it was actually really fun. But again, the actual story itself, the excuse to get you from point A to point B, for you to engage in the actual combat itself, was not very fun. And it's not because it was a uh, visual novel format. Those are actually really great. And I was actually really hyped for this story originally. But again, it's the characters themselves that have been written and the kind of choices the writers gave them that made the entire thing so unbearable. A lot of the characters are not nice. Not even the ones who are like, okay, not intentionally made into such. Like, for example, your main character. You would think the POV character that you are supposed to take control of and follow and whose choices you are the one who decides would be a lot better. But no, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that the main character was one of the reasons why I refused to play and it took me so long to finish the game. Because to be fair, I got to the end point and was actually grinding to fight up the final boss within like 2 weeks. But I never actually finished it until nearly like 3 weeks into it because again, it was just not very fun, the story itself, more than anything else. And while I might have stumbled here and there against certain bosses, because of difficulty spike and not because like it was all that great. Like for example, Piedmon, that was one that was really just like absolute difficulty spike, and another one was against the final boss for the Wrathful route. Not gonna spoil the story, but yeah, it's like both of them okay kick my ass. But even then, it didn't even take me all that long of a try for me to complete the game. So yeah, no, it wasn't like it was that hard. So yeah, but the gameplay itself was still fun. But the story, it was just so horrendous. It took so much effort and so much of my own energy to actually want to play finish through it. And while I might have completed the game, I dread having to finish the New Game Plus to get the other two routes so I can get the complete perfectionist run for the game. Yeah, this is most probably going to be just like Hacker's Memory all over again, where I have to actually actively give myself some time off before I can feel like wanting to complete the game again. And I know there are a lot of people who actually really like the game. I am one of those people. It's actually just the story component which I really cannot stomach. And if you can and you liked it, good for you. There's actually quite a bit of good things to like about the story, but it's just the characters were so horrendously written. Not, again, not in the way of like two characters who you'll meet early on, who are written, like villains because they are supposed to be douchebag villains. but rather some of the characters who you are not supposed to think they are douchebags, you still think they are douchebags. And like again, like the main character as well, they just do some of the most stupidest thing ever. And it just makes the whole thing so hard to play through. But yeah, at least, the gameplay's fun. And it's definitely the most standout thing. If they can make another Digimon Survive like game, except this time without the punchable characters for your main cast, yeah, I think the thing would actually run even much smoother, especially considering that the Professor, Miu, and actually Miu's older brother, I would argue they are the three best characters. Sure, there are some times where two of them are annoying, and that's actually Miu and her older brother, but overall, I would say the three of them were the strongest out of the entire cast in terms of likability. No matter what kind of stupid things they did, they are still much more likable than the vast majority of the cast. And God, seriously. And both of them sucked. Again, the Professor was also great as well. I still liked him. I don't think he was that offensive, and I actually think he's a really nice guy and a really great character. So yeah, definitely love following his story. But I definitely don't want to go through the rest of the game again with the others. Whatever. I'll still try my best to finish anyway. So anyway, that's pretty much wraps up my rant about Digimon Survive. I thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope to be able to see you in my next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.